Hello, everyone, and welcome to our first session. Last couple of months, we have seen, a lot has been happening in the crypto space with Bitcoin price reaching 65,000 USD to a lot of many Indian DeFi startups coming up and raising money, and a brilliant boom in this space. Even the COVID second wave could not dampen our ecosystem and this technology, the spirits of the entrepreneurs here. And who better to share the opportunities and what the Indian eco landscape, the Indian crypto landscape looks like? Who better to present than my co-founder and partner in crime, Akshay? Here today is going to present that. Welcome, Akshay, for this session.
Thanks, Manav. Hi, everyone. Glad to be meeting you all. I think COVID has sort of brought a standstill to a physical, catch-up sessions. But again, I think, to the hustlers, there's no stopping. And I think we're going to continue to meet and, share our thoughts. So let me get right into it. Again, for those of you who don't know me, I lead initiatives at Blockchain Studios and Blockchain India. As Manav shared previously, Blockchain India is the largest talent network in India focused around cryptocurrencies and blockchain as a technology. At Blockchain Studios, we are building a venture production studio, a venture studio which is focused on blockchain. So we work with early stage startups. Uh, we support them with their go-to-market strategies, with fundraising, as well as product development. Today, I'm going to be sharing with you all, these things that are happening on the ground. We're in touch with hundreds of entrepreneurs, enthusiasts, people working with protocol teams, founders, which we're tremendously blessed to get information firsthand. And with this presentation, I attempt to share some of that as an update with you. And above all, I want to also share with you things that we've done in the past 6 months ourselves. So yeah, if you have any questions, feel free to ask in the chat box. Mark it as a question, and we will, take it at the end. Thank you so much. Yeah. So the cryptocurrency perspective in India looks amazingly positive at the moment. We've seen a tremendous rise in the amount of attention we're getting from people, specifically those that are interested in investing in cryptocurrencies and getting a good ROI. So there's a massive rise in incoming traffic on all exchanges. If you see WazirX's volumes, in the last month, they're about 10 times that of just the volume that were there in the first month of this year, that is Jan 2021. They've grown tenfolds to about 10 million in the middle run. I wouldn't say middle really, but before that in May, when I'm sure many of you must have been following the Dogecoin announcement by Elon Musk. Around that time, the interest was at an all-time high. Doge was definitely a huge success, but most of the attention that Bitcoin was grabbing, um, and other cryptocurrencies in the top 20, by coin market cap, all of them, kind of took the place by storm. There were about 19 odd million in monthly volumes for, WazirX, which is leading or one of the leading crypto exchanges in India. Apart from that, over the last year, we've seen many organizations credibly push towards education and awareness, much like ourselves. There are now also dedicated crypto shows on national television. So I'm sure many of you might have already noticed, those developments. Again, we've come a full circle in the last 5 years. Crypto has introduced or shown so many different scenarios, but one of my most favorite scenarios is the one that's happening right now. That the regulators are now looking at everything in a positive light. They've announced an experimentation window for cryptocurrency innovations, and that seems to me like the first step to a very fruitful future for everyone in the cryptocurrency industry. Apart from that, we're definitely heading towards a direction wherein, the masses are aware about what cryptocurrency or blockchain as industries, present opportunities to them. And also, it might not yet be have reached the adoption stage, but I think we're definitely at a mass awareness level or getting towards that as we speak. The technology perspective is also quite positive now if you compare it with the one that was there in 2 years. India has evolved from an outsourcing destination to a product destination, thanks to all the investments from, the local and international, fund managers, retail investors, all of them have put about, if you look at just our community, there are about 35 odd startups that have raised funds here. I think just in the Indian context we would have seen about 100 of them raise funds across these brackets, and I'm just delighted to see that we're getting such good support. If you look at DeFi and NFT startups, I'm not sure if you've already come across, but Mark Cuban invested in Polygon. Naval Ravikant invested in Instagram, and I think with all these big biggies coming in supporting Indian startups, I think there is going to be support or investments at a mass level going on further from here. By the way, just a fun quiz. There are 46 logos on the screen right now. How many of these do you know? And you can post about this on the chat. It would be very exciting to see how much are you aware of the Indian ecosystem currently. I was aware of 43 out of the 46, logos that are present here. So I mean, there's a lot happening. It would be okay if you miss out on some as well. So do check out. Probably you can also take a screenshot to figure out how many of these do you already know about. Okay. So, the technology perspective, also came up with its own challenges because in the previous times or just about a year ago, we were seeing a lot of standalone blockchain implementations, and that was the cause of worry because these different blockchain hubs weren't interacting with each other. Now the situation post the bull run has changed quite a bit with new interoperability experiments bringing results. I'm not particularly speaking of one, but there are many interoperability experiments that are happening, or have happened in the last 1 year. IBC, the interblockchain communication by the Cosmos ecosystem, or the L1, L2, kind of differentiation by the Ethereum ecosystem, or even the broader, the relay chain, parachain, sharding, all of those, experiments have yielded quite a few results now. Another challenge that used to exist was the lack of use cases. In either of the Web3, DeFi, or NFT spaces. But if you see now, there are a bunch of new use cases that have arisen in the past few months, right? So if you look at the Web3 space, Drive, which is one of the startups that we're working with, is building a decentralized Uber. Block Survey is building decentralized, market survey platform. You can think of it as a decentralized Google form. They have clients from Brave. Tremendously proud of the Block Survey team, and also proud of ourselves because Block Survey came as a hackathon project from India App Fest, the one that we hosted back in 2019 May. Hypermine is another application that helps with password efficient password management for enterprises. If decentralized push notification service is another one that's got a lot of attention. from the EPNS ecosystem. If you look at the video conferencing space, Hudl Zero One has come up with an efficient way to provide these video streaming to the masses, such that even school students can operate at a low cost and super efficient way to take classes online. So Huddle Zero One is a decentralized video conferencing platform. The DAP list is kind of AngelList's decentralized version. It's amazing to see the kind of products that they're bringing about. Another Web3 implementation of investments. Call It Out is an experiment towards tackling fake news problem on social media platforms. Arcel is an HR management solution. So there are now there are a handful of use cases just from the Indian ecosystem, if not the global one. So I think we've transpired through both the challenges. If you look at protocols, there are a bunch of them that are focusing considerably on the Indian ecosystem. We did a survey within our community and saw results in terms of the protocols that are popular in the Indian ecosystem. Of course, Ethereum was and continues to be one of the favorites. Cosmos again is gaining a lot of light, but Zilliqa is definitely one of the outshiners in terms of the time it has been focusing on the Indian ecosystem and the response that it has got from people. Apart from that, Algorand, IOTA, Tezos, RC Coder do hold significant mindshare amongst the Indian audience as well. And I think all of these protocols have worked with us in one or the other phase since 2017. So I'm glad to see that they're growing in India after also getting to a community in more ways than one. If you look at trends, right, I generally, being at the forefront, try to share these trends with the community in order to facilitate, career directions or moves by, startup founders, just so that they realize what this space is becoming about. Right, definitely, see if some of these can be incorporated in your decision making process, as these touch points from the ground observations, basically. Right. So, one of the key things that we're seeing on the ground is that there is a massive demand. The 70 odd startups that just raised, are going after hiring, from the limited talent pool that's available in India, and hence, you would see, all of these startups competing essentially amongst these talented folks. Um, if you look at in terms of innovative solutions, we're seeing a lot of focus on layer 2 DeFi, be it in terms of liquidity aggregation, be it in terms of um, price discovery or even unified gas fee experiments. I think that's one of the trends to look at. Something that I'm terribly happy about, because I was waiting for this to happen, is this new direction of experiments where teams are bringing real world assets onto the blockchain. This is going to be a great flavor for the whole ecosystem, probably by the next bull run. And we're already seeing that happen right now. Pandora Finance is an amazing experiment from an Indian team in this direction. Again, one of the things that continues to happen is more and more protocol teams, are trying to cater to attention from the Indian ecosystem, and we see them coming and forming India side foundations. Again, this presents amazing opportunities for startups because now they are in demand and they can get grants or support at a very initial level, and use this focus by the India side teams, and be a part of healthy and innovative environments presented by different protocols. As another thing that I'm keenly excited about is adoption of Web3 dApps. Equate, one of the a decentralized market research platform, is a fine example of how Web3 solutions are now getting offered to cryptocurrency enthusiasts, and hence I see that with OmniFlix, the media and network layer, to these content curators as a decentralized network, a block survey which I earlier mentioned, Filament, which is an NFT marketplace on top of Tezos blockchain, or IO, which is again the fake news solution that I was earlier referring about. All these present some unique, application that users can utilize. So I'd encourage you to, check these teams out, check their products out, and see whether you would want to utilize any of these innovations. I think that's the key flavor in the bear market today. Again, I think from a quick perspective of where the Indian ecosystem is at, to a quick overview of what we're doing at Blockman Studios. As I mentioned earlier, Blockman Studios is a blockchain venture studio. We work with early stage startups towards helping them in their journey, with go to market strategies, with fundraising process, and even product development, the ones that we are excited about. um, as an ecosystem organization or ecosystem oriented organization, we let the ecosystem guide us about the services they want us to cater to. In terms of the top four services that they have been reaching out to us for or interacting with us for, talent recruitment is the number one, out China. As I mentioned, there are so many startups that have raised funds. There is about hundreds of startups that have gone beyond, the $20 million market cap. All of them require this talent, and we're seeing a lot of demand both locally and internationally for hiring credible talent. If if you realize, we've always been about knowledge sharing, and hence it is a natural fit for us in terms of upskilling and capacity building initiatives. Startup consultation and incubation is something that we do, or sort of give a lot of energy to as well. So OmniFlix, be it Lendrev, Equate, Majime, Tribe, these are some of the startups that we're working with in that direction. Again, since this is about 100 days of code, and we're demoing the products that have come about it, sort of makes sense for me to share a bit about the 100 days of code initiative as well. So 100 days of code initiative for us, came out of the early realization that a lot of opportunities are going to come to Indian developers and Indian entrepreneurs very early on, and we are able to see that, not just in terms of hiring requirements, but also in terms of support that's coming from international funds and investors. So just to make sure that Indian entrepreneurs are able to, and developers are able to grab this opportunity, we've launched a blockchain programming course. We've kept in mind while designing the whole process that learning is engaging and engrossing when you do it with your peers. At the same time, you learn a lot better by building side projects, right? We've combined the two, basic needs to be the fundamental pillars of the way the program is designed. We have industry developers working as trainers during the 100 days when the program is getting conducted. It is presented as a 100 days challenge to make it again, more interactive, to get participants to talk to each other, learn alongside each other, and in some ways challenge each other with the learning process as well. Generally, if you see interactive programs online have somewhere around 30 to 35% completion rate. If you look at our completion rates, we do about 85%, and sometimes we've also gone as far as 92% in terms of our completion of, which means the participants that have joined in on day zero to the participants that have followed all the basic assignments and sort of content during the curriculum till the 100th day. and that phenomenal success has come from the carrot approach. We consider our secret sauce to be the carrot approach in immediate gratification. We've ensured that every week, if as a participant you get a spot in the top three developers of the week leaderboard, we incentivize you by giving cryptocurrencies that you can use for products or services online, or even utilize these cryptocurrencies by converting it into fiat money, right? So that's been one of the key motivators, and we call it the learn and earn model in that sense. If you look at, our major goal with this is to evolve side projects that I earlier mentioned into full-blown relevant startups. And, you would see demo pitches from the participants that are, going about taking these side projects to the next level. And I'm sure the winners are going to be able to use those grants, which is something that we provide to them additionally of the, kind of developer of the week sessions as well, right? So just saying that, there's a bunch of, things that are available, and as incentives. And I think, that's what makes this program so exciting. Again, in terms of the results, we've distributed about 58,000 USD in terms of grants in the first two cohorts. We've had about eight startups, get support from international incubators. About six of them go on to the next step. If you look at some other achievements, Ahmed, one of our participants in the current cohort, has already earned about 2.5 lakhs worth of cryptocurrencies in Zilliqa or the Zill token, throughout the period, which is a great ROI in terms of, the time and effort that has been put in the last 100 days. Avinash, who was one of the participants in the first cohort last year, has gone on to bag uh, a role or a job profile as the head of blockchain at an Indian crypto startup, and we're phenomenally proud seeing that the learnings gained here are put into great use. Tejaswini, who won the first cohort as the top startup by the jury, received 5 lakhs worth of equity free grants to build out LendRev. I mean, I would love for you to check out lendrev.com and support Tejaswini in her initiative. Again, in the words of Jordan Belford of Wolf of Wall Street, or AKA Wolf of Wall Street, there is a huge upside potential and possibly very low downside potential, and hence I would recommend you to take this very seriously. Wanted to also add this, just to make sure that we the whole process has been designed in such a way that if you're getting in, if you want to get your hands dirty with opportunities in the blockchain space, this is a phenomenal place to get started. Manav, are you around? I would love to get Anshul from the team on board as well.
Yes. Please.
Yeah, so we're going to take, also some time to, share one of our current, experiments. We build side projects ourselves. This is a fourth one, but I'm very excited to see where this goes. With Tayo, or Call It Out, we're trying to solve the problem of misinformation on social media platforms. Um, if I'm not sure how many of you have already heard about fake news or fake propaganda, but it is becoming more and more prevalent as a menace in the current digital ecosystem. Not only has it brought harmony on the basis of religious disputes or ethnicity, but also it has tried to destroy the fundamental fabric of the society by sort of influencing electoral votes, which decide the direction of nations, and kind of is the way we go forward in current times, right? And if you look at some of the outliers in conversations with the government, we can see the big tech CEOs called in time and again testify against their information policies. And if you see, in a lot of ways, their information reporting or information management policies are inadequate, lack fairness, and above all, do not have the transparency that we seek from an organization that has grown so rapidly and seen such unprecedented scales of adoption. Right. So we've tried to tackle all of these problems through a solution that is blockchain based that offers cryptocurrencies as incentives. Keeping in mind that Facebook this year brought down about 9.6 million posts as opposed to about 2.5 million posts a couple of years ago, right? So there is a fourfold increase, and just to be able to handle this whole process of managing information online, I think there needs to be a scalable process, and hence we took a dig at it by building a browser plugin, a Chrome extension, if you may, for peer-to-peer reviewing system. So you as a peer download a plugin, you can easily log in and then start reviewing fake news or misinformation or disinformation. Obviously segregating it by whether it is intentional or unintentional and attaching proofs while you make those reports. Another phenomenal, feature is, that of moderators. Any user can opt in to moderate, and as a contributor, they'll be rewarded with, IO tokens which are FNT fake news tokens at the moment that we distribute to operators who help us with the whole flagging process, right? All of the results, just for transparency and complete visibility, are recorded on the blockchain, so as so that issues between like the ones that are happening between the government and Indian government and Twitter right now do not arise in the future. Right, so we've taken digs at all of those things systematically. If you look at the moderation process, we have algorithmically built it in such a way to choose moderators for every particular post to represent diverse ideologies, so that there is control in terms of the biasness that comes with sort of moderation. Post these posts get reported, right? On top of it, there's an immense opportunity for all users to use these as micro gigs of sorts to keep internet clean and more relevant. Another feature of the whole product is the reputation based model, which we've assigned to all users, with an attempt to discourage generation of fake news or malinformation right at the source itself, right? So I mean, in the end, it's kind of like an end-to-end solution for managing misinformation on social media platforms. There's a QR code attached. You can take a screenshot or scan it and ask for access. We would love for you to fiddle with the product and tell us uh, how it seems to you. What give us your feedback so that we can make it better. Again, Manav, is there a possibility to get Anshul to give a quick demo?
Anshul is here already.
Awesome, awesome. Hi, Anshul.
Hi. Hello, everyone.
Anshul, so I will take away my screen. Please, take away. Please try to demo the product.
Yeah, sure. Is my screen visible?
Yes.
Yes, it is.
Yeah. So here I am on Twitter. So let me just get started. So here I have call it out extension, and I will log in from Blockymans account. And yeah, I'm in. So now let me search my personal profile here. So as I scroll down, after logging in, on each of the tweet, a button will appear. Call it out. So let me just report any of the tweet, show how this works. Okay, yeah. As I click on that button, a page will appear, which will redirect me to a form. I can see that particular tweet which I'm reporting here. I just need to fill in the username, provide any link to the proof to support my report. So for now, let me just add a dummy link here. And let's say I want to do fact check on this. I can also choose what kind of tweet this is. So let's just say first data attached as proof. And here I can also add bounty. So let me just add a bounty of 5,000. And as I click on submit, I'm redirected to my reported post page. Let me, yeah. So here I am on moderator's dashboard. This is a different account. This account has been given the status of moderator. So as I refreshed, you can see there's a post of first data attached as proof, which I just reported. And let me just click on validate now. Yeah, that particular tweet is here. And here moderator can add their proof and attach link to the proof as well. So let me just add some dummy link. And oh, facts checks out, and I'll mark this tweet as correct, and then I'll click on submit. So a page appears which says moderated post. So whatever post I have moderated till now will appear here, and this is a list of whichever post I moderated. As you can see, there's a no status currently here. So in background, in backend, there's a cron job running which will update the status within 5 minutes. So I already have a post. So actually, let's till it gets validated. I will let Akshay sir take over.
Yeah. So I mean, I hope you get get the whole idea behind the product. And I see there are some questions. Manav, would we do we have some time to take questions as well?
Yes, we do have. We do have a couple of minutes.
Yes. So Nali, your question is the moderator rewarded on validating news? Yes, exactly. So we have two ways that this reward is getting distributed. One is from the common F&D pool, wherein the system itself is rewarding for contributing to the network. And second is, if as a reporter you want more preference to come to your post in terms of moderation. So if you want this post, if it holds higher value to you and you want to get it reported faster or moderated faster, you can attach a bounty to it by taking F&T tokens, right? And you can attach those as bounty amounts or bounty rewards, and that along with the reward amount that comes from the main system will both go towards the moderators to have added value. So we have a question from Ramit on how the moderators are selected. So, Ramit, the moderators are for now being curated by us, but with time we want to use the aspects of decentralized autonomous organization DAOs in terms of its governance aspects as to how to choose these moderators. And these moderators would then be one given an access at one point, right, to have moderator accounts, but then they will also be chosen algorithmically by the system, right? So how we work around that is we analyze the data available of a particular user, when they apply for moderation, we use their public data to create a biasness matrix, right, on the back end. And once we realize if they, have a significant alienation in terms of, let's say, liberal ideology or the opposite, or, if they're perfectly centered, we sort of label them or categorize them as, a particular, ideology leaning individual. And then we, choose randomly between these different ideology oriented moderators. I hope that answers your question. This is all done to, remove bias, and, there should not be that a particular kind of, audience is more prevalent. And if you see, there has been sort of a liberal bias being pointed out on the digital media platforms by, specifically our government or the US government, or even the French government. Emmanuel Macron has come out publicly to state that. Okay, so there is another question around how will moderator decide that one news is fake or real? Yeah, so think of it as every time someone reports, there would be reports a particular piece of information. There would be a proof that they would have to attach that states clearly that this is the reason why this particular post is fake. And hence, when the moderator is looking at all of it, they go through their documents, they go through their proofs, and then come about their decision. In many cases, we're also expecting these journalists or independent journalists to conduct first-hand inquiries online, or maybe even physical environments. For example, if the Delhi riots were happening and I was in Delhi, I could act as one of the person that can go and see what's happening actually on the ground. So we do feel that moving on, there would be an opportunity for investigative journalism or genuinely market research to plug in as well. And that's how we think moderators would add value in terms of moderation process. Yeah, and thanks for answering. Okay, yeah, yeah, sure. There's another question around: do the users also get some rewards for flagging actually fake news? So, with any sort of contribution, we're right now, thinking about how to reward everyone. In the first iteration, we are definitely bringing in some rewards from the tokens that are dedicated for product experimentation and adoption. Think of it as airdrops that projects give out to people. But moving on, we definitely uh, do want to seed these positive actions in the whole ecosystem or network, and we do that by giving out a certain set of tokens to people that contribute, be it through flagging or or moderating. Can we say here in Call It Out moderators which are minors? In terms of value adds, definitely they act as minors in their own way, Manish. Also, I mean, there is another question by Tejan. I mean, that's a follow on from the previous line. Uh, um, if rewards aren't given, why will they then be incentivized to flag the right news and not spam the moderators by flagging all posts? Again, that's something that we realize, and hence we want to give some tokens at first, and also focus on these posts being attached bounties too, right? So we see once the scales kick in, this acting as a micro gig platform, a new kind of gig wherein you are contributing towards, making keeping the digital world clean, and hence, there will be definitely an exchange of tokens in that process. Again, Manav, I think I've answered all of the questions. Yeah,
Yes, you have.
sure.
All
I
right.
think so that will be all for us. From our side, I hope you like the presentation, and I hope you interact with the project and give us positive feedback. I mean, feedback that we could work upon, and that is what we consider positive, and not just the right things about the product.
Guys, I've shared the form with you, so please fill up to test the product. More of you come in, we are more happy to have, as Akshay shared, a positive feedback to improve, so that we can make our news listening fake off all the fake news and the propaganda news.
Also,
Thank you.
Manav, can I quickly reshare the QR code just in case
Yes.
people want to take a screenshot?
Yes, please do that, Akshay. That'll be nice.
Yeah. So I mean, you can scan this QR once again. QR code as well if you feel like fiddling with the project. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, everyone. Let's stay tuned. We'll be starting with our pitches now. Thank you.